Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Criterion Connection. I'm Wade.
And I'm Joe.
And we are doing a Rainer Werner Fassbinder film, The Bitter Tears of Petra von Kant. We haven't done Fassbinder in a long time. Yep. I think Fox and His Friends was the last one, or... We didn't do any of these, 8-hour ones. I didn't know we didn't do that.
I believe we've done a couple, right?
I think we did another one. I just can't remember what it was.
But we did Ali, Fear Eats the Soul.
Okay, that one. So this one is from 1972.
So on the latest edition of Wade Does Not Like This Rainer Werner Fassbinder movie is The Bitter Tears of Petra von Kant.
I didn't hate it. It's not as it's not happy, but it's not as depressing as Fox was.
No, and I mean, it's a theme that he explores a lot, is, kind of outcast and loneliness and how people deal with it.
Yes, this person has real issues with loneliness and narcissism and just overall not having the best time sometimes.
Yeah, and I believe this is an adaptation of a play he did.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's it's pretty much set in
a room.
A room.
It's set in
not the room.
Petra von Kant's bedroom.
Yes, and she has a lot of wigs, a lot of outfits that kind of show her mind state, mental state.
Well, I use it as just visual aids to tell you that time has progressed.
Yeah.
Because you have the first scene where she has her natural hair and then puts on a brown wig. Then the next one was a blonde wig. Then there was a red wig. So it's I each time her hair changed, it was generally denoting a change in time.
Yeah. And it's a lot of lovers. Not a lot of lovers, but mainly two.
Let me think. Because pretty much it's mainly Corrine.
Yeah, and there's I think Marlene's also a character in there.
She's not a lover.
I know, but I kind of had, maybe it's just me, I kind of had this, there was some kind of tension there.
Well, I mean, to me, to explain that tension, I'm just it's kind of weird to have a servant.
Yeah.
Which is kind of what she was doing.
Yeah. I thought it was going to change at some point, but it didn't.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of things, it definitely has a world outside of it that is existing and is happening, and we're only seeing a fraction of what's going on, which is really cool. It makes it feel lived in.
Yeah.
But we're dealing with Petra von Kant, Petra von Kant, to get, I guess, the pronunciation closer. She's a designer, a clothing designer, and she's rich. And so she has Marlene, who's a servant, and she kind of becomes infatuated with Corine. And kind of lets herself get fooled into thinking that she loves Corine. And over time, we see kind of the development of how her relationship, with her mother, with Corine, with the mutual friend.
Yeah, I'm blanking on
it starts with an S.
Yeah, oh gosh.
I don't remember it. But yeah, you see kind of the evolution of, the relationships she has with all of them. She kind of makes her world all about Corine. Has her move in, and she's I'll pay for everything. And, Corine probably thought of it as a Sidoni.
Yeah.
And Corine probably is, happy with it at first, but she obviously is just kind of using Petra, but Petra thinks it's more. And it's just kind of one of those things.
It's a very toxic relationship.
Yeah.
Very one-sided, which, you know, I think the average person, I know I can attest to being in those one-sided toxic relationships.
Yeah.
And it sucks. And I feel for her. You know, she also has her own issues, though. She's not a very perfect character.
Very much no.
No. And, yeah, there's no... Like a Fassbinder movie, there's no, like, clear-cut, like, morality.
Right. Yeah. There's nobody that's clearly evil. There's nobody that's clearly good.
Yeah.
Everybody is flawed. And that's something he always kind of grasps really well in his films. And, like, this... I mean, this is kind of in his, like, melodrama phase.
Yeah.
Where, like, all the emotions are, like, high and low. So, like, there are parts where you're like, that person... Like, Corinne's acting really cold in this, you know, scene. But it's not like... That doesn't define her character. It's just... That's how she acts. And, I mean, we already got the setup for that. Of how she was treated when growing up. How she was treated with her husband. Who she ends up going back to. But yeah, it's a Fassbinder movie dealing with people and the problems they create for themselves, and how, you know,
Complicated love is.
How complicated love is, and,
or infatuation.
Yeah,
because there may not even been love involved.
True, it could be just, you know, I mean, it was so sudden. I mean, it could be almost like a lust.
Yeah.
You know, she's like, "Oh, you're so beautiful."
Yeah.
You know, you could be a model.
Yeah, just very manipulative.
Yeah.
Manipulative to get your way. Yeah, the acting is good. The cinematography is as it, you know, we can do for a room.
I mean, he's got some decent movements around.
Yeah.
Like, I there was that one part where he cuts to a different angle behind the characters on the bed, and he follows Petra as she gets up and moves the curtains.
Yeah. He does the best for the location he's in.
Yeah.
I mean, there's not much else to say about the movie, really.
No.
Yeah, I mean, it's just... You said it. Would you recommend the film?
It's okay. It's not my favorite. You know what? I'd say yeah. Yeah. I'd recommend it. It's certainly not for just any old person walking down the street, but I think if, you know, somebody who's into film and somebody who likes, you know, watching foreign films, I think it'd be worth watching.
I'm in the middle.
Yeah.
On that, like, it's not the worst film, but it didn't grasp my interest for most of the movie. So I can't say I would 100% recommend it to the audience. I think Fox and Ali were better films, more engaging, I thought.
And I think what helps them is a sense of like having more locations and being able to block things differently. I think this film, it probably does better as a play.
Yeah.
Than it does a film.
It's even separated by acts.
Yeah.
To make it seem like a play, yeah.
And having like just that one-sided set. You know, you have the same set, and it's just it just seems like it would work better in that environment.
Yeah. So that's our thoughts on the bitter tears of Petra von Kant. This is a kind of a shorter episode. It's a very micro kind of episode to kind of get you the info as, you know, as short as possible, I guess. Follow us on Instagram, Condish Productions. You can subscribe, and share. We are inching closer to episode 200. So keep on getting those numbers up. Keep on sharing. Keep on, you know, spreading the love. Until next time, I'm Wade.
And I'm Joe.
And we will see you later.